All right, we've got Zuri here. Hello. Hi, Zuri. Come say hi in the chat. Come say hi. How's the challenge going for you? Hi. Great to see you here. Thanks for joining us. Good, good. Okay, that's great. We're going to start in just a moment. I'm just going to give people a couple more minutes to sign on, and that way we can begin. So, yeah, feel free to share whatever you'd like in the chat. It's really nice to have you join us. How is the dynamic? So what do you mean by that, Zuri? How do you use the chat, or what we're going to do? You don't have to turn your video and mic on because this is a webinar. So I do that, right? But in our group coaching program, we're all together in a video call. So everyone's online together and, has their camera on and their video on and their mic on. So that's a different setup that we have in our group coaching program. And then for all paying members on, I think it's Thursday. Yes, Thursday, we have a community coffee. So that's where you'll have your mic and camera on too. Hopefully you can join us for that. It should be fun. That one's like a casual conversation. So hi, Pedro. Nice to see you here. Great to have you. So yeah, that's kind of what we have set up. And then in the webinars is the interactive chat. So you're able to participate and chat and, engage with the people in this call as well as myself, like that, right? So that's really nice to be able to do. Pedro and Zuri, have you met each other? I think you've seen each other in the Executive Excellence Challenge, if I'm not mistaken. So that's really nice. I'm so happy that you're both enjoying that. And excellent. Yeah, it would be great to have you Thursday, Zuri, if you can join us for the community coffee. Okay. Well, I'm going to get started. And then as people come in, they'll be, seeing what we do. And perfect. Okay. Let's share my screen. Oh, I should mention, so we today are going to be talking about resilience in action, and I'm going to share quick strategies for helping you develop a thick skin in business, and then these also translate to life. So these will be helpful for anyone who is, feeling like when there are challenges, they're difficult to surmount and overcome, but these are going to help us recalibrate how we think about challenges that we face and help us build that resilience muscle. So lots of good stuff. All right, I'll go ahead and share my screen now. Beautiful. So, like I said, resilience in action, quick strategies for developing a thick skin. Can you think of anything that comes to mind with developing a thick skin or being more resilient? Does anything pop up in your mind? Feel free to share that right now in the chat. Anything pop up? Anything come to mind? What do you think? What are your thoughts? I see some typing going on. So how do you develop a thick skin? When you face a challenge, how do you overcome it? How do you become more resilient? What are your strategies for, developing a thicker skin, meaning you're less sensitive, you're less, preoccupied about making mistakes or the fear of evaluation or what other people consider of you, how they consider you or what they think of you. How do you develop a thick skin? Oh, okay. So this is, for some of you, this is your first time hearing thick skin. Okay. Very cool. Well, let's talk about that. I'm so glad you brought that up. That's, this is one of these phrases in English that is used quite a bit, but I think, sometimes we might not necessarily hear it, right? Or we might not apply it, but having a thick skin is the ability to withstand criticism, rejection, or any type of negative feedback, right? Without taking it personally or being easily hurt or offended, right? So it implies, when you have a thick skin, it implies a certain level of resilience. And that's why when we talk about thick skin, we also often talk about resilience and being resilient. So, this is a type of emotional strength, right? That allows somebody to handle a conflict or a challenging situation or a confrontation or any type of harsh environment more easily without becoming overly distressed, overly stressed out, right? And so developing a thick skin is often seen as a valuable trait, right? This is an important, valuable trait in both personal and professional contexts because it allows individuals to maintain their composure, to respond more constructively to feedback or adversity, and then to continue pursuing their goals despite setbacks or despite negative opinions from others. So that's a wonderful question. So Zuri says, I think one important thing is to know the importance of feedback and not to take things personally, and remember that is our personal growth. Yes, really great way of, thinking about resilience and how we can be more resilient and develop thick skin or a thicker skin. So that's really great. I'm so glad that you share that with us. Hi, Christina. Welcome. Nice to see you here. Okay, great. So let's carry on. So for those of you who don't know me, and I'm going to share this information so that the people who are watching the replay will get the full kind of, experience of what these webinars are like. So I'm Mary Daphne. My friends call me MD. I am co-founder and CEO of Advanced English and explearning, and I am head of community here at our wonderful, amazing, brilliant academy and community explearning Academy. So it's lovely to have you here. And I'm here to empower you with the communication strategies, the confidence boosting techniques, and the executive skills and professional skills to help you level up in your careers, to help you, feel comfortable talking to anyone at any time across various social settings. So that's a little bit about me. And then here is a little bit of my educational background. I've got 2 masters. I have an advanced master's from Columbia University in New York City. And then I have another master's from Bhattacharya University. And my undergrad, I was a double major, and I majored in both French and communication. So that's a little bit about my, academic background. And I have basically, almost 2 decades now in the fields of cross-cultural corporate communications, broadcast television, live broadcasting, creating videos and content, and building communities. And I've been teaching and designing courses in communication, social skills, public speaking, English, cross-cultural, and business communications for about 16 years. And I emphasize technology, empirical research, data-backed teaching methodologies for high-value student outcomes. So you get the best of the best of the best. And I also teach teachers how to teach. So I'm a teacher trainer, and I've done this both abroad as well as in New York at places like Columbia University, Baruch College, and Hunter College. And so I teach teachers how to teach as well. And I was a Fulbright grant recipient. So after I graduated from university, I got a Fulbright award, and that took me overseas in a professional capacity And it was an incredible experience. I'm very happy for it. So that's a little bit about me. So who and what are we? Explearning Academy, we are the professional development platform for the modern executive. There are a lot of definitions of the modern executive, and I talk a lot about that. I even have a video up on the Explearning channel about it. And if you're in the community, we have a lesson on it. What do we do? In a nutshell, we've got daily activities, weekly calendars, challenges, quizzes, quests, engagement in the community with forums and group chats and chat buddies and conversation partners. And then if you're part of our group coaching program, we have multiple times a week, we do group coaching sessions with all of us on camera, like this visual illustrates quite well. So that's a little bit about us. We've got 2 programs for you. We've got the community and self-study program. So that's, you got the community and the platform. You've got web courses, challenges, activities, group forums, things like that. Challenges, right? I mentioned. And then in our community plus group coaching plan, we've got the weekly video calls with me and other Executive Communication Lab Plan members, where we hone communication skills, we practice and share feedback, and that's a lot of fun too. So we have 2 plans like this, and I encourage you to check either of them out depending on what you're looking for. And feel free to send me a DM in our community, and I'm happy to, share what might be a good fit for you. Okay, so who is the Explearning Academy plan for? We've got, if you want a self-guided and fully supported journey, that might be for you, with the daily tasks, exercises, activities, courses, quizzes, challenges that you can do on your own time. So from, the comfort of your own home, you can do it on our app, use our app, just download it on your phone. You can use our online web browser version. Both of them are great. And what do you do? How do you do? You engage with other members. You learn from each other. I'm there in the comments chatting too, participate in live webinars. And you can also host your own meeting and be, hosting your own kind of club or interest group. So we have that capacity too, which is really cool in our community. So that's a little bit about that. As you see, lots of fun interactions happening. And then the group coaching plan. This is for people who are really serious about leveling up their leadership skills, social fluency. We do this with weekly live video calls with me and the other Executive Communication Lab Plan members, like I said. And if you are serious about leveling up, then this plan is the best way to do that, to build your professional network, to get the most out of what our community has to offer. So that would be something for you if you, let's say maybe you're looking to get promoted, you really need your English communication on point. Maybe you're moving countries, you're moving to another job or another position, and you want to make friends, you want to level up professionally, polish your executive skills, maybe learn some of those skills. This would be a great place for you. Okay, great. So now that the housekeeping is over, let's get back to our scheduled programming. The reason I talk about the plans and whatnot is so that, I get a lot of emails and questions about what we do at Explearning Academy. So I thought that it would make a lot of sense to talk about these when we do, we come together like this, so that it's a little bit clearer for you and you can decide what makes sense for you based on your goals and your level of commitment. So we're going to talk about how to develop a thick skin in business and in life, and what the importance is of resilience in personal and professional growth. And then we're also going to cover practical strategies for building resilience. And let's see, we're also going to cover, enhancing emotional intelligence, EQ, and assertive communication skills, very important as well. And then some insights into overcoming language and cultural barriers that are relevant to both L1 English speakers, so native English speakers, as well as L2 English speakers, non-native English speakers, because we have both in our community. This is a communication community, professional development platform. So of course we welcome everybody, and that's a little bit about that. So what do we think about this question? Why is developing resilience important? Why is it important? Share what you think in the chat. There's no wrong answer. No wrong answer. Let's see what you have to say. Type it in the chat. Why is it important to have a thick skin? What do you think? Any thoughts? I see some people chatting, typing. That's great. Yeah, Ruby. So we don't give up on our goals easily. Excellent. That's a really good point. Absolutely. So important, right? If we feel like we're struggling and the challenge is too hard and whatever goal we set is too hard, then maybe we'll give up. And that would be unfortunate. That would be kind of sad, right? Because we tried so hard and maybe we're just on the edge of some type of breakout or success. And if we say, okay, that's the end of it, and we give up, well, then we would never know what really could have happened, right? So that's a really good point. Thanks for sharing that. Excellent. So Christina says, I think that resilience is fundamental to go forward. It makes a difference in professional and personal life. Excellent. Really great comment there as well. And these skills that I'm going to share, right, they're also relevant in both our personal and professional lives, right? Just depending on the context. So excellent, excellent thoughts. So here we have one of the important factors, right, is the enhanced resilience in the face of challenges. So it helps us overcome setbacks, criticism, failure, and we're able to move forward. And, you know, these kinds of things are inevitable, right, in our personal and professional lives. So we have to know how to, you know, deal with it and what we can do to overcome it and learn how to be more resilient as well in the process. Also, it leads to improved emotional intelligence and relationships, which is also extremely important, right? We can, you know, manage our emotions better. We can understand others' emotions better. We then, you know, that leads to healthier and more productive relationships, not only in the workplace, but in life in general. So another very important thing. And the third important thing is that it fosters a growth mindset and the ability to adapt, right? So how do you roll with the punches? How do you become more resilient? How do you develop a thick skin? What are the ways to do that, right? So, you know, learning how to not take everything so personally, to maybe be overly sensitive, you know, how to feel like constructive criticism just destroyed your day, which, you know, doesn't have to. You can let it happen. You can let it destroy your day, but it doesn't have to, right? And so why is this adaptability important? Well, growth mindsets are essential. Carol Dweck is the one who kind of coined the term the growth mindset versus the fixed mindset, right? So with the growth mindset, you're able to set yourself up for success. You're setting yourself up for learning, skill development, thriving in any kind of environment, be they dynamic or not. And so we do really want to have a growth mindset. Okay, excellent. So what are some core strategies to build resilience? This is the good stuff, right? Okay, we have a tool at our disposal called cognitive reframing. And in a nutshell, this is, you know, practicing mindfulness and self-awareness, where we are able to, you know, acknowledge a negative thought or something that makes us feel, you know, less than enough, right? This term, enough, you're enough, right? how do we recognize it? Because sometimes it's really hard to recognize. And then we've got being able to reframe negative thoughts. So taking a thought, instead of saying, I can't handle this, you instead consider, well, maybe, okay, this is challenging, but I can work through it. I can get through it. It shifts the perspective from a limiting belief into a more empowering one. And guess what? The empowering belief is going to serve us that much more, that much better. Then we've got to focus on solutions, not problems. Why is that important? Because, if you are dwelling on the negative aspects of the situation, you're not really going to get anywhere. It's just going to make you feel worse. You're going to beat yourself up over it, right? Whereas instead, if you shift your thinking towards how can I come up with a solution? What makes sense in this situation for me to do? What can I do right now to make this better? You're reframing, right? You're doing cognitive reframing, and that sets you up for even more success, right? Okay. Set small, achievable goals. Okay. Have you heard of SMART goals? Well, these are SMART goals, right? So taking some tasks and breaking them down into smaller steps, smaller goals, which can boost confidence and also create some momentum that's positive. And then we've got learning from mistakes and failures. Give me a thumbs up in the chat with if this resonated, and then share which one maybe you're going to try after this webinar. Which of these for cognitive reframing will you try? Share that with me and the other friends we have in this chat. Okay, thumbs up from Zuri. Very nice. Which one are you going to use? That's what I'm curious about. Reframe negative thoughts. Absolutely. Ruby, reframe negative thoughts. Okay, very cool. Very cool. Excellent. Yeah, reframing is a great one because it's one of the ones that we can do, especially if we catch ourselves having these negative thoughts and being in a negative loop. Okay, great. Christina also said the same. I really love this one too, for sure. Sometimes I dive into a lot of bad thoughts, thinking about bad results instead of focusing on the positive. Yeah, Zuri, for sure. We all have most of us have a tendency to at least once or twice, if not, more than that, have this kind of rumination. And so what this really helps us do is to catch us in the act of thinking that way and to reframe. Extremely beneficial. Very difficult to do in the beginning because it's like, okay, well, and then you also notice how many negative thoughts you're having, but over time it becomes a little bit easier. Okay, then we've got emotional intelligence. So self-regulation and awareness, of course, always starts with self-regulation and awareness because you have to first notice what's happening, right? If you're not aware of it, well, then first we have to get you to a place where you're aware of it, right? So things like taking deep breaths, doing a grounding meditation, maybe some journaling, just taking a moment to pause, going for a 5-minute sanity walk outside, trying to prevent some sort of like emotional outbreak or, escalating to a stressful situation. We don't want that to happen. So that's why this kind of work is really important. Then we've got empathy, right? Trying to see from the other person's lens, the other person's point of view, the other person's perspectives, because this can help de-escalate conflicts. So if we take into consideration other people's viewpoints and perspectives on something that may be the focal point of a conflict, we are doing empathy work, right? Empathetic work. We're doing empathic communication. We're acknowledging another person's feelings, trying to see it from their perspective. And then what does that do? It leads to teamwork and collaboration. especially in, tense or charged situations. And then a constructive response to feedback. So when you receive some feedback, especially if it's, critical feedback that you need to be able to do your job, you can use emotional intelligence to process and respond in a constructive way, right? Instead of reacting defensively and getting angry and getting upset, take some time to understand. And if you don't understand, ask for clarification. So what do you mean by that? Could you point to specific examples where I showed that kind of behavior, or, where it didn't meet your standards, or something, right? Whatever is appropriate to the context. So that's really important, to be able to not only provide constructive feedback in a good way, but also to be able to, not only dish it out, but also to take it, because that's how we grow, right? Part of how we grow is feedback, and then being able to act on it. Okay, so let's now talk about assertiveness. So any questions with this before we move on? This one here. Anything about emotional intelligence that, are we all clear? Yay! Terrific. Okay, cool. Well, if anything is not clear at any moment, feel free to type it in the chat. Let me know, and I will do my best to clarify. Okay, so let's go on then to assertiveness. So assertiveness definitely ties into confidence. In a way that you're asserting yourself, you are showing that confidence, you're showing your credibility, you're demonstrating your expertise in the field or subject matter expertise, all of which are important when you want to, put out your professional image, or have even in a social context, like have your friends take you seriously, or, have people listen to you, right? It helps with the respect as well. So you want to demonstrate and use clear and direct communication. So saying something like, maybe I could take on that project if no one else wants it. What's the problem with this? Is this assertive? Spoiler, it's not, because I put an X and I put it in red, but can you tell me why? Maybe I could take on that project if no one else wants it. Maybe I could. Does that sound confident to you? Maybe I could take on that project. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, exactly. It seems like you're not very interested in the project, 100%. So what would be better? I'm interested in leading the project, and I believe I have the necessary skills to do it successfully, right? Such a difference. Night and day. So when you're, talking to people and you want to showcase that confidence, think about it. Assertiveness could be your ticket to get there, to do that. Okay, what else? Setting and respecting boundaries, of course. So, yeah, tell me about it. Even though I have no time to eat my lunch, right? So this person is trying to eat their lunch, and the person is just disrespecting that, and they're letting them disrespect that space. I value our collaboration, but I really need this time to recharge. Can we discuss this after the break? Assertiveness, right? You're still being polite. You're still being, respectful. You still want to talk and help somebody, but you're setting your boundaries. Very important, right? You don't want people to take advantage of you, right? And if you put that pattern in place and let people take advantage of you, walk all over you, be a people pleaser, then you're not really going to have much time to yourself. You're not going to really have time to recharge like this person needs to do, like we all need to do, to be clear. So this is why, assertiveness is very important. And then we've got using I statements. Okay. So You never consider my ideas in meetings. That's a lot. It's pointing fingers, right? You did this, you do that, you don't do that, you do, right? Lots of blame. We don't want to do that. That's not professional, and it's not a good way to communicate. So instead, this might be, right, I statements. I feel overlooked in meetings, and I would appreciate the opportunity to share my thoughts. So you're taking responsibility for how you feel, right? And you're not placing blame on someone. You're saying that, this is how I feel. I feel overlooked, and I would really like to express myself. Great, right? Do you see the difference between these sentences that we have? Night and day. Night and day. Okay. Stress management. This is also a big one. And it's something that I think is getting more and more attention these days in the workplace and beyond, and rightfully so. So, prioritizing your tasks and being mindful with time management, right? So, using tools like to-do lists or project managers or, digital planners, any type of way that you can track deadlines and commitments, and then taking what you need to do and breaking it down into smaller tasks. So you have this whopping huge project, high stakes project. Maybe it's on a, longer timeline. Instead of saying, okay, I have this enormous project I need to do, and then procrastinating a bunch, break it down, and then put that in your calendar. Zuri shared a phenomenal time project. It was a time management prompt that we had in our 33-day challenge, our executive excellence challenge. And Zuri had a great response to that. So for those of you in the challenge, I highly recommend you check out what she shared, and maybe share some positive thoughts on it yourself. So well done. Really, really enjoyed that. Okay. So then we've got mindfulness and relaxation techniques. And this is something that is portable, right? You can do it anywhere, and you don't necessarily need to use any external thing like an app or a book or anything. Of course they can help, but you can just do it with your own breath, your own mind, your own breathing techniques, and just, trying to remain calm, trying to think of, calmer energy, reducing the stress. So think of it, as if somebody criticized us and we were already having a not so great day, and then somebody criticizes us, and then something else happens, and we're, we're so distraught. Maybe that's a good time to take a breath, to just go somewhere, maybe a quiet coffee shop during lunch, or take a 5-minute break, just go out into the hallway or out for a sanity walk and do some breathing techniques. You will feel heaps and heaps better. Trust me. And speaking of breaks, try to break up your workday. If you work from home, make sure you have something, maybe set a timer, get up, maybe go to your kitchen, make a warm beverage, get some water, get a snack. Maybe if you have stairs, go up and down your stairs. Maybe you have a mailbox outside your house, go and run to the mailbox and back. Right? Find some fun ways that for you, to break up the day with some physical activity. I like to get on my bike. I have a stationary bike. I like to get on my bike, and I just crank it out for a little bit, or maybe just do a workout, or maybe get outside, or simply put my desk up, put my desk down, because I have one of those movable desks. So it's like, just do something where you break it up so you get some physical activity in there. It really helps a lot, right? And it can help. Regular movement like this can help you reduce tension, improve focus, help you dial in on what matters and what doesn't. So that's also a really great one. Okay, now let's talk about overcoming barriers. So yes, there are some barriers that we need to think about overcoming. Totally, absolutely fine. So for L2 English speakers, you want to think about practicing active listening, really not thinking about or stressing about what you want to say next. or focusing on yourself. Focus on listening to the other person, right? Don't worry about what you're going to say. That'll come, but focus on the other person who you're talking to. I feel like sometimes when we're speaking a different language that is different from our own, I speak 2 foreign languages fluently. And so I know what this is like. We're so caught up in what we're going to say and how our accent's going to be and what grammar we use and what words we use. And if we're going to impress them with our, use of certain phrasal verbs or collocations or expressions or idioms, that makes us more stressed, right? It makes us more stressed, and it's not adding value to the conversation because you're not listening. You're not listening to what they have to say. So how do you know how you're going to respond before they even finish what they're going to say? So I really encourage you, actively listen. Expand vocabulary, practice regularly. There are so many ways to do this. I have, for those of you in the community, go into Confident Communication course it's one of the web courses. You will see a whole module of vocab acquisition that is relevant to native English speakers and non-native English speakers. Because guess what? We're all trying to expand our vocabulary. Everybody is, not just L2 English speakers. So I would highly recommend you check that out. And then we have some other lessons about vocabulary. So in the community, just search vocabulary and a lot of things will pop up. So that's what I would recommend if you're on the hunt to acquire new words. Reading is also a great way to do this, of course. And then practice regularly, engage in conversations. So take advantage of what we have to offer at Explearning Academy. Join us. You can, if you don't want to join the group coaching plan, join the Explearning community, Explearning Academy plan, and find a conversation partner. Come to our community calls that we have. We do like coffee chats. Do that. Then meet people in our community, talk to them, do your own event, schedule your own time to chat with them. And then for those of you who are serious, come to our group coaching sessions where we do multiple times a week. We are talking, engaging in feedback, having lots of fun, laughing, doing all the things. So very important. Okay. So then we've got embracing cultural diversity. Super important, extremely important. So you want to make sure that you start cultivating this cultural awareness, right? So learn about different cultures, different traditions, different communication styles. This helps us appreciate different viewpoints and understand various worldviews. And having these, this appreciation for diverse viewpoints can actually prevent misunderstandings. It can actually prevent misunderstandings and conflict. So extremely beneficial. Encourage and listen to different opinions, right? Your opinion is not always the best one. What do other people have to say, right? And then be open to feedback, ask for feedback, adapt your processes and strategies, products, whatever, based on the feedback, right? So if if you're brave enough, I would highly recommend it. Seek out feedback. Ask people for their feedback. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? That's how we learn, right? And the more we do that, the more comfortable we are when we're faced with critique or constructive criticism or constructive feedback. But guess what? The person who gets that feedback is the person who's going to end up growing and learning from that. So, and then for the native speakers out there, if you're interacting with a group of international professionals or just people who have different viewpoints from you, even if they know the same first language, you want to use clear and simple language. You want to define your terms. You don't want to use jargon or technical. So I'll give you an example. If somebody is one person, let's say they're both native speakers, one's in the fashion industry, one's a coder, a software engineer. You've got to speak in clear and simple language, because the language the fashion person is going to use about fabrics and styles and, stylists and whatever area in fashion they're in is not going to be easily understood by the person who's the coder and the developer, right? Because they have a very different way of viewing the world and the language they use. So even for native English speakers conversing with each other, this is very important. Clear, simple language. If you have a term define it. If you have an acronym, define it. Don't leave anyone in the dust. And of course, practicing active listening, patience, extremely important. And then everybody has a slightly different way that they communicate, right? We all have our own communication styles. So respecting that. We also have a lot of content about communication styles. So in the community, search communication styles and lots of resources will pop up there too. So really fun one. I love how everyone has a different communication style. It's one of my favorite things about, part of what I do is analyzing and helping people reach their communication style and understand their communication style and tweak their communication style. So it's really fun for me to also, see that, and very cool. Okay. I think we're ready for a quiz. What do you say? What do you say? I think we're ready. So let's do this. Let's do this. Yeah, I love it. I love the enthusiasm. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Uri. Who else is excited for the quiz? Just a little one. Little quiz. Okay. I think we're ready. All right. So, when faced with a challenging project deadline, which strategy aligns with effective stress management? A, work continuously without breaks to ensure completion. B, prioritize tasks and take short breaks to stay focused. C, wait for the deadline to approach for increased motivation. D, delegate all tasks to team members to reduce personal workload. Is it A, B, C, or D? What do we think? What do we think? Okay, so I see some answers coming in. What do we think? Okay, ready for the answer? B. Very good. Well done to those of you who said B. All right, next question. In a meeting, you notice a non-native English speaker struggling to express their idea. What's the best approach to ensure effective communication? Is it correct their grammar and suggest more appropriate vocabulary? Is it B, let them struggle as it's a good learning experience? Is it C, patiently listen and ask clarifying questions if necessary? Is it D, speak on their behalf to save time? Okay. Ready for the answer? C, well done. Good job. Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay. If you receive critical feedback from a colleague, what is an emotionally intelligent response? Emotionally intelligent response. Immediately defend your actions and explain why you are right. Acknowledge the feedback and consider how you can use it for growth. Dismiss the feedback as irrelevant. Avoid further interaction with the colleague to prevent conflict. What do we think? Okay, thank you for answering, Zuri. Anybody else? What do we think? Leave someone in the dust. Yes, I did use that expression earlier. Great question, Zuri. So when you leave someone in the dust or leave your audience in the dust, it means that you have gone so far ahead that they're stuck in the back, and it's like a car in the like imagine a car in the desert, right? Or on sand, and they're driving and just dust is following. Just dust is like plumes of dust. So you're leaving them so far behind you without like stopping to say, oh, come join me. Come, let me help you. Let me explain this. So that's a metaphor for saying basically, not explaining things, not defining terms, not picking up on maybe a lack of understanding. Great question. I'm glad you asked that. Good. Okay. So The answer is B. Acknowledge the feedback and think about how you can use this for growth, because we can all grow, right? All right, next one. How should a native English speaker communicate in a multicultural team to ensure inclusiveness? Not just a native English speaker, but anybody. How do you ensure inclusiveness? So do you want to use complex vocabulary to show off and demonstrate proficiency? Do you want to B, frequently use idioms and slang for a friendly atmosphere? Do you want to C, speak slowly and loudly to ensure understanding? Or do you want to D, use clear, straightforward language and avoid jargon? Okay, thank you, Pedro. Thank you, Zuri. All right. Ready? Yeah, this one's a little bit tricky, isn't it? You're not wrong to say speak slowly and loudly to ensure understanding, but this one's better though, right? D is better, slightly better, because you want to be straightforward. So depending on how loud or how slow you speak is not, yes, those things can help somebody be clearer, but it's not the be all end all of being clear in the way we communicate. The more important thing is to avoid jargon, to be clear, and to be straightforward or direct. So you can be speaking a little bit louder and a little bit more slowly. That helps us understand things maybe, but the better answer here is just, more clear, straightforward, and avoid technical language or jargon or phrases that people just won't understand. Remember my example of the person in fashion and the person in coding? They're going to have very different jargon. And so if they use jargon from their industry, they're going to miscommunicate. There's going to be a disconnect. There's going to be some confusion there. So that's kind of what we mean. Okay, good. But that's great. I'm glad you answered that. When working to transform negative thoughts into constructive actions, which technique is most appropriate? Suppressing negative thoughts and pretending they don't exist? Recognizing and reframing negative thoughts into positive actions? Focusing solely on the negative aspects to prepare for the worst? Or D, letting negative thoughts dominate to keep expectations realistic? What do we think? What's a good way to transform negative thoughts? Okay, ready? B. Good job. So this reframing technique seems to be popular today. I love it too. It's a good one. Then I encourage you to practice this one as soon as we wrap up with our webinar. Pay attention to your thoughts. If you have some type of, negative self-talk or some self-doubt or lack of confidence, or, something happened earlier or yesterday and you're ruminating over it and saying, why did I do that? Why did I say that? What does this mean? Right? That little ant noise inside our head, right? Automatic negative thought, ant. Reframe. That'll help a lot. Okay, good. So what's next? What is next, my friends? What's next? So we have a lot of members in this call. So this will be, I think you already know this. You're in our community already, you know this. But for those of you who are only on the free webinar plan and you want to know, or you're not in our community yet, if you're watching this replay later, I'm going to share a little bit about the community now. So feel free to stay if you're a member. Feel free to go if you are not. But I'm just going to share because I get a lot of questions about Exploring Academy and our community and our group coaching program. So that's what I'm going to talk about now. So we've got our 33-day Executive Excellence Challenge, which is a wonderful challenge. So many people are participating. It's really a great challenge if you want to elevate your leadership, master your communication, increase your confidence, and so many other things. We provide feedback on the different things, the different activities. So maybe it's your elevator pitch, maybe it's your, time management strategies, maybe it's some emails, like professional emails. Maybe it's the way you are, showing resilience. How do you apologizing? All these different types of things that we need to know how to do in business to make us the leaders that we want to be, right? And so many, networking and emotional intelligence. And so we've got our daily videos, like the daily strategies and challenge. And then we have things to think about, and we have a prompt where you can share, in your forum here, connect with other members and chat about things and get feedback and iterate on the process. So maybe you do like another draft of an elevator pitch, or you share some thoughts and, somebody else has something to say that they love and they want to add, right? So it's a nice conversation that we have going, which is really wonderful. And so if this sounds like you, if you feel like you lack professional polish, because let's say, you're really skilled at what you do, but there's something that's missing and you can't quite put your finger on it. You don't know exactly what that is, but you know that there's something that is missing. It could be professional polish. It could be the way you speak in professional settings that is maybe too casual or too stiff or too, I've had clients who've come to me to help them kind of like tone down their like overly executive, communication style, because they were always on. Even in the executive, like they were an executive, they are an executive, but they were always on and trying to, we worked a lot on tone and body language and nonverbals and phrasing and all these things that make up and comprise communication. So that could be part of it. Maybe, you feel like you're struggling with authenticity. Like, who am I? Who am I? What do I do? Like, what's my voice? What's my true inner calling? What's my voice? How do I express myself? Like, you've got the credentials, you're really impressive. You feel like you're stuck in a role though, right? And you feel like it's time to shed that corporate mask. You don't want to be just like everybody else. You don't want to be, something that you're not. And you want to really express your authenticity, maybe, right? Not just in the boardroom, but beyond. Maybe you have social anxiety and you lack confidence. So many people come to me and ask me about that, and we help them. And you're not alone. This is a very it's a rampant issue, conundrum that we all face, native speaker or not, right? Anxiety, feeling like it's hard to communicate with people sometimes. That's just the fact. And so how do you boost your confidence? How do you navigate social scenarios with ease? And, whether it's impromptu speaking or running a meeting or giving feedback or asking questions or raising your hand or, chatting with your boss or interacting with your colleagues, overcoming stage fright, so many speech acts that we have, right? And that we do on a daily basis. So we help you become a modern executive. And through that, practice. Practice makes progress. We don't get better at anything without practice. So what's great about having a community is that you have people to help you hold yourself accountable, right? You see other people doing the challenge. You see other people in the comments. You see other people showing up for the live webinars and the group coaching sessions. You want to be part of that, right? You get excited to see that kind of growth happening and you want it for yourself. So a lot of it has to do with learning, right? Being in an environment where there's constant learning happening. We're all evolving, we're growing. And it really comes down to practice makes perfect. Here are some snapshots of these live group coaching calls that we have with members. They're a lot of fun. They're small, intimate classes, sessions. Everyone gets an opportunity to speak, learn, discuss, get feedback, and meet each other. Everybody here goes on and talks to each other outside of it too. So it's really fun to be able to have that experience and to be part of something, to especially in I feel like sometimes we feel so isolated in a lot of ways, right? the last few years, maybe for some people, for the whole world, we were all so isolated. And sometimes it's hard to get back into things, right? So being part of a community really helps with that, like overcome that feeling of loneliness that we might have, or social isolation, or any type of like disconnect that we have, because we are all in it together. We're doing things together. It's a lot of fun. It's one of the reasons I love the community. And I think a lot of people enjoy that too. So like I said, we've got the Executive Excellence Challenge, 33-day. Amazing, really fun. So it's for the modern executive, right? You could be an entrepreneur growing your business. You could be a freelancer pitching ideas. You could be a work from home executive managing remote teams and driving change in your organization. You could be a stay-at-home parent who doesn't want to lose touch with their professional side and is maybe looking to level up career-wise or make that transition in between jobs. So many versions of the modern executive, and we are here for you. We are here for you. This is more than just a career booster, right? This is something that will help you. We communicate all day, every day, even if it's just us at home alone in front of our computers. We're still communicating with the world, right? We still need to be able to get on a Zoom call, talk to our boss, talk to our colleagues, exchange emails, exchange Slack messages. We're still not fully isolated, right? If we have an internet connection, we're talking, even if it's like virtually. So we communicate all day, every day is my point. And this will not just help you in your careers, it'll also help you in your life in general. Being able to adapt, being authentic in what we do, being an effective communicator. These aren't buzzwords, right? These are must-haves. They're must-haves, right? So it allows us, effective communication allows us to navigate difficult and complex challenges, foster meaningful relationships, and lead with integrity with whatever type of leading we're doing at the time. So with a membership, what do you get? You get a lot of things, actually, which is really fun. I wanted to make sure that you get lots of value. So you get the self-paced web courses, learn anytime, anywhere, at your own convenience. If you're part of our group coaching program, you get the live video calls where we get to practice real-world communication strategies, get immediate feedback. Then we've got the live webinars. We've got the monthly challenges. I'm really excited. We have a new one coming up, which is going to be really fun. So, and this challenges stay there. So you're always able to jump in to the challenges, right? Even though, like, if you're following in real time, the challenge will be ending soon, but it's still there. So it doesn't really end in a lot of ways. Like, it's there. What we do when we launch this, so when we launch this challenge, the Executive Excellence Challenge, in our group coaching calls, we talk about executive excellence. So we have extra practice in that capacity. So, but that's okay. You can always join that program too. So we've got the global professional community. We've got lots of speaking opportunities, daily professional development. We've got a weekly calendar that comes out every single week. And I love it. It's so fun. I think a lot of people enjoy it too. And when you join now, you get the real-time feedback. You get a small group coaching experience. If you're in the group coaching plan, you get exclusive communication strategies to master the nuances of effective communication. And this is some of what we have here. Beautifully, designed and laid out, very easy to use. There's a lot in the community, but we direct your focus with, the prompts and everything. So there's an orientation to it. Like you'll get the hang of it, but there's so much in this community. It's really just amazing. Okay. So one more time, because I know some of you were not here in the very beginning. So the explearning Academy plan is a fully guided, fully supported, self-guided journey, right? That's your gateway. So you've got access to the entire platform, the community, the people in it. You get to chat with them, and come on to the community coffee chats and things like that, and the forum and the challenge and all the things that we do. And then our group coaching plan, you have a specific space that only you have access to with additional resources and materials. And then we have the live calls in addition to having the community platform and the community. So like I said, it's weekly video calls with me and other members to hone communication skills, practice real world relevant tools and strategies that you'll use the next day, and share personalized feedback. So if you're looking to level up professionally, this would be the plan for you. This would be the way you'd get the most out of what our community has to offer, and, build your network, find your next big opportunity, communicate with people who maybe are in a similar industry or not. And, but you still have interest groups and lots of things in common. So we have a 1-week free trial. I highly recommend you take advantage of this. And it's your opportunity to use the app and our online platform. So if you're going to do the free trial, please use it, right? Please give it a try. Don't just sign up for the free trial and then not use it. That makes me sad, actually. Yes, I'm giving it away for 1 week for free, and I want you to use it, right? I don't want you to just sign up for the free trial and then never touch it again. No, that's sad. That's a waste of time. That's a waste of, your free trial. Use it. Come join us, depending on what plan you chose. If you're in the group coaching plan and you sign up for the free trial, you can come to all of our calls. If you're in the academy plan, try the web courses, come join the challenges, chat in the, forum, engage. This is a great way to get to know the platform and also to meet other people in our community. So if you're going to sign up for the free trial, use it. All right. So we have so many incredible members. I'm in awe of how many incredible people we have in our community. Simon says, I joined Explearning Academy just 2 months ago, and I'm absolutely amazed by the progress I've achieved in refining my workplace skills and boosting my confidence in English-speaking communities. Attending every live session and actively practicing real communication skills has not only enhanced my English proficiency, but has also been invaluable for improving my overall communication abilities. I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to our teacher, Mary Daphne, for her guidance and support. Having incredibly knowledgeable instructors who encourage you to seize opportunities has been the golden key that Explearning Academy has provided me. I wholeheartedly recommend Explearning Academy to anyone seeking success in today's fast-paced world. That's such a beautiful image, a golden key. I love that. It's so visceral, right? I can just paint that picture in my mind. Thanks, Simon. And then Seda goes, throughout most of my life, I've battled social anxiety. She's not alone. We've all been there. Joining the Explearning Academy has empowered me to overcome my fears and shut down my BS. So cool. Each baby step in this supportive environment has been transformative, boosting my confidence in both personal and professional interactions. Very cool. Saval says, both Mary Daphne and all the members of the community are so sweet and smiling that you never get bored. You don't understand how time flies. It's true. You really don't. It goes by like this. With this community, I had the opportunity to improve my communication skills as well as improve my language. I have the opportunity to see and correct mistakes with frequent community meetings. Awesome. Bye, Zuri. See you soon. We'll see you for the community coffee on Thursday. All right. Helder says, I had to give a presentation at work and I used the tips I learned from the community and everybody loved it. This community is different because it's not just about learning English, but also focuses on practical communication skills and real life situations. For sure, 100%. Raquel, I don't get to use English in my daily life, so I find it very enriching to have the opportunity to exchange with people from different countries and to learn about their customs and opinions on current affairs. Being in small groups allows us to be active in discussions and to lose our fear of public speaking. And MD is always here to push us. Push-ups. I did push-ups today. Yes. There to push us and help us if we hesitate or don't know a word or expression. Don't worry. I'm not making you do push-ups in the group calls. That would be fun though, huh? Maybe in the future. No, just kidding. Okay. Best investment. You won't regret it. Short and sweet, to the point. Mireya is super active in our group coaching sessions. So you'll definitely get to meet her. And also you'll see her in the forum and the chats in our community. She's also very engaged. Marve says, Explearning Academy is very different from any training I've attended so far. Talking in small groups and everyone in the group participating in the conversations increases my self-confidence and speaking English in different social situations. MD encourages everyone to speak in workshops and discussion sessions. She takes care of everyone individually and takes great care so that everyone benefits. Thanks, Marve. Dom says, Explearning Academy is the best enrollment I've done in a training program. I'm here to improve my professional English skills, executive communication, and social skills. I believe this is a great tool and more people should join. I love that he said that. It's just so fun. I really enjoyed the workshops Mary Daphne delivers in her paid membership. I encourage more people to sign up. I clear my schedule to participate in these workshops. It's so true. All right, Ashika. So Ashika is one of the native English speakers that we have in our community. Because we have a mix of both. Non-native English speakers, all with the goals of improving communication, leveling up professionally, improving the executive excellence and social skills and social fluency. We do it all because that's communication, right? So my goals are to become more socially savvy and build emotional intelligence with people. Mary Daphne is an excellent teacher and communicator. Thank you, Ashika. Her skills surely rub off on you as she eases you into better habits and makes everyone feel comfortable as the instructor and facilitator. I'm already experiencing subtle shifts by learning from everyone and MD. The community's international diversity is the perfect practice ground to interact in multicultural settings. I feel comfortable to say things without thinking too much, as long as I put it across with integrity and grace, something that Explearning Academy integrates in its modules. True. All this is so great, and it's true. I mean, you're hearing it from the members. This is what the members have to say. The style of it, so Edwin goes, the style of interaction in Explearning is cutting edge, incorporating innovative elements of teaching a second language. My speaking skills have improved in my daily interactions as I have surpassed some typical barriers of learning a new language. In live discussions, I learn new words, expressions, and discussion items, which I use afterwards in real life settings. Very cool. So that's the plan. That's the situation. We've got the Explearning Academy plan. Oops, there we go. Self-study, fully supported journey. A wonderful plan, a wonderful program. And then we've got, you have that plan. And in addition to that, you get the live calls, the small group coaching calls. So you get the group coaching, you get the community, and you get the platform. So you get everything that's in the academy plan plus more. You get your own, like there's a special space only for group coaching. And then there's the calls that we have, the live calls. So for really great value, really great value. So I'll see you inside. You can go to academy.explearning.co, sign up, create a profile, and then choose one of the plans that you'd like, depending on your goals. Thank you for joining me. Well done. Thanks for all the amazing participation. You did an amazing job. These are not easy concepts, right, that I'm sharing with you. This is challenging, to say the least. So you being here, you engaging, you sharing your ideas and thoughts and participating is amazing. So well done to you. I encourage you to use these strategies, use them, because the saying, if you don't use it, you lose it, something like that. I can't remember. I can't remember that. If somebody remembers, you can put it in the chat. If you don't use it, you lose it. Anyway, whatever. We remember that. We know. We got the gist of it. So use it, use these strategies. That's how we get better. And then if you want more support, come and join us in our community for the Explearning Academy plan. Or if you want group coaching, join the Executive Communication Lab plan for the group coaching. Both plans are amazing. You've got lots going on. There's something to do every day. You will not get bored. You will not get tired. And guess what? You will level up for sure. All right. Thank you so much. I'm done talking for right now. And I hope to see you in our community. Bye, everybody. Thanks so much for joining. See you soon.